by Surfshark. These are Chinese scallion oil noodles, or葱油面, one of those magic dishes that only use like 3 ingredients, are super quick to make, and yet can be the most delicious thing you've had all week. And it all begins with noodles, specifically Asian style plain dry wheat noodles. The only requirement would be that they're round and thin, but not even that is a must really. Boil them according to package instructions, usually about 2.5 minutes where they're still al dente, then drain. Grab 2 or 3 stalks of scallions, cut into segments, then julienne. And by julienne, I just mean cut them lengthwise and don't worry too much about shape. That's because next up, you want to add a very, let's say, generous amount of oil to a wok, add the scallions and fry them up over medium-high heat, stirring constantly for even browning. That's important. Once the first scallion bits begin turning dark brown, you want to immediately add your noodles and toss everything to mix the scallions in evenly. We turn the heat off and season the noodles with equal amounts of light and dark soy sauce and a little sugar to round things off. Stir everything well to combine evenly, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the magic happens. Just look at this mound of delicious, savory noodles. So saucy, so shiny and glistening, and with little bits of crispy scallions. But what amazes me the most here is that soy sauce and fried onions are really all it takes to make plain noodles taste amazing. And that really made me wonder, what if there was a way to take this flavor profile to the next level? I mean, I know some things are perfect the way they are and you really shouldn't touch them, but also say hello to the big old tray of alliums. Let's turn this into a rainbow of onion flavor. We have good old scallions, and many of them. We have Chinese style green onions, which are very similar. Oh, and by the way, this is the time to use up old onions if you have them around. Also, check out these trimmings I still had. Perfect as well. Here is a big fat leek. Why not? And finally, we got a few plain white onions. Classic. Now, let's get those chopped up. So with our onions ready to go, let's make a big old batch of onion oil. I did some research and we can actually add some depth to this flavor profile. First, we got some sliced ginger and a few cloves of garlic, along with a few bay leaves and just like 2 pieces of star anise. We're gonna do about ½ liter of neutral cooking oil. Yummy. Let's bring that up to temp on medium heat. Then we go in with our aromatics, followed by all the onions. And now you're gonna need some patience. In the first 10 minutes, your onions will start to wilt and soften, but other than that, it will look like not much is happening. But don't let that fool you, and make sure to stir everything constantly though, because once your onions start browning, things can once again go really fast. We want them slightly beyond golden brown, but not much further. And this is when you want to strain your hot onion oil into a large heat-proof bowl and let everything cool down for about 15 minutes. Now look, technically all we need right now is a bowl of freshly cooked noodles, to which we can add some of the oil and fried onions, mix in some soy sauces and sugar like we did before, perhaps also a little glug of oyster sauce and sesame oil, another 2 very common additions. But as I saw all of these ingredients in front of me, I really had to wonder, do I have to mix them all in on the spot? I mean, I'm getting lazy here, but might there be a better way? This is the moment a new idea was born. So first I had to get rid of some of the debris in my fried onions, specifically the star anise and bay leaves. Ginger and garlic can stay in, I think. Then I packed all of the remaining aromatics into the cup of my immersion blender and topped it up with all of my sauces. One quick word here on oyster sauce, do not skip it. You can totally use the vegan kind, that's fine, but we do need that starchy, glossy texture. I also added our sugar and a bit of white pepper for extra flavor, and then it was time to blend everything. This might take a moment, but you'll end up with this super thick and creamy sauce base, but that is not yet what I was going for. Because there's all that delicious oil we spend so much time infusing, so let's combine the two, add another little glug of sesame oil maybe, and blend some more. This will again take a little bit, but to my surprise, between all the fried onion solids and the starch-thickened oyster sauce, after 2 to 3 minutes of blending, this sauce actually comes together really nicely. All that oil emulsifies very well into the sauce base, and trust me, this is so packed with flavor. All we need to do now is add a few tablespoons of this sauce to some freshly cooked noodles and stir it in. Transfer to a plate, and then, You could just eat this, but I have thumbnails to make and this looks a bit boring. So for some reason, I decided a raw egg yolk on top might be a good idea, which, spoiler, it wasn't. Just garnish with some freshly chopped scallions if you want more action, okay? That's enough. And here's the thing. First of all, that egg yolk, it did add creaminess, but the dish just doesn't need it. The sauce though, flavor-wise, it was absolutely killer. Really, really delicious. And what I liked even more is that we now had all this delicious sauce, which should keep for at least a week or two in the fridge. And even though those noodles were great, what I'm really looking for is finding out what other delicious things we can do with that sauce. So back to our scallion oil sauce. I figured since it made one carb taste amazing, why not try it with another one? So you want to first shake up that sauce a little bit. The emulsion does hold up quite well, but not for a super long time. And then I added just a little bit of oil to a hot wok to prevent my rice from burning, because yes, we are making some super plain fried rice. No eggs, no nothing. I just want to see how our sauce will interact with the rice. And for those of you wondering, this is of course day-old rice. I tossed in a few fresh scallions towards the end, and I mean, come on, check out this super shiny, super fragrant rice. This can't not be good. And indeed, it was truly amazing. I might be a little biased here because yes, I think fried rice is the best food in the world and I can eat it every day, but still. And now my question is, since it made plain fried rice taste so good, what other things could we use it in? Maybe like a stir fry or a braise? I don't know, but maybe you do. So please let me know in the comments below, and even better, make the sauce yourself and let's figure this thing out together. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.